Welcome back to Reality Court, everyone. I am here with somebody that I consider family because we're all part of the Hurrdat family, Christian Gray Snow. You guys know him because he does a wonderful podcast called My Friend, My Soulmate, My Podcast. The other day I referred to it as My Friend, My Soulmate, My Podcast, My Tampon.
You know, my friend, my soulmate, my podcast, my tampon, my Monday, my OG, my what the hell is going on? There's a lot in there. Yeah.
Exactly. And he does this podcast on Hurrdat with the OG of the OC, Vicki Gunvalson. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Oh my gosh,
happy to hang out with you.
Yeah, and you said we're family. We are Hurrdat family, and we're Charlotte family too. We're doing this just right down the street from each other.
This week, Christian and I have been in contact a lot because, you know, I don't want to bring this whole thing down, but the horrible thing that happened on the train, and we are just so, honestly, according to Ken, I am obsessed and I need to let it go because I did see the whole 7-minute video and I can't stop thinking about that girl, and I'm actually upset that nobody has ever talked about it again. I know there was bigger news, but my God. Anyway, so yes, we've been talking about it, and, you know, there's been so many people moving to Charlotte, so I'm just here to tell you guys, don't move to Charlotte. You're ruining the real estate market for me, and look, bad shit happens. I hope this helps.
It's just crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Look, I mean, I even had my own little incident last night I was telling you about. Like, walking back, I literally went to Chipotle last minute before they closed, and it's next door. And across the street is the Target, major shopping center. You know which one I'm talking about. Yep. And I know what I heard. It was a woman screaming, and she screamed, "Help me!" And it sent chills all over me. Like, and a guy that was standing there waiting on his daughter to come out of the Panera that's over there, he heard it, and I'm like, "Run with me! Like, we have to check, you know, like we have to check."
So you
and we
ran to the
thing.
To help.
We both sprinted across the street immediately.
What a concept, helping.
I mean, and after my mom was like, "Christian, you could have get," I was like, I didn't even know what I was looking for. I just wanted to see, could I see a car speeding out? Could I, you know, like get a license plate number just to see if anybody else noticed something. But in that moment, we just ran, you know, and we saw nothing, called the cops immediately. But, you know, it's just saying all that to say, yes, there's a lot going on. I'm sure there's a lot going on in every city, but here in Charlotte, it's just been like a lot.
Listen,
real quick.
Being from Miami, crime is part of everyday life. We've had people on the side of the highway eat somebody's face because they were on bath salts. So I'm not foreign to this concept, but when I got to Charlotte, the reason I'm so happy here is that I've had such an incredible sense of peace, you know, and I do live in a little bubble in Charlotte, just like I lived in a little bubble in Miami. So I don't go, I mean, of course I've gone to the south side or South End.
South End, yeah.
But, you know, I don't stay out late and whatever. If I go to a restaurant for the early bird special, you know, but it's terrifying to me. It's terrifying what's happening. So the world is on fire, guys. And so let's kind of entertain you a little bit so we can forget about it for a while because...
what better way to beat that than to talk some shit? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Let's talk some shit. That's the best way to do it. Honestly, it's not great for your mental health. And mine is already, you know, teeter-tottering. So, you know, I read something the other day that you need to protect yourself from what you see on social media, especially if you're, God, I hate the word empath, but I am to a fault where I just hurt myself with it. I can't stop thinking about something. I can't just say, well, there, but for the grace of God go I. I don't think that way. I'm like, it happened to somebody's daughter, somebody's sister, and it's so
it sits with you.
Yeah, this is the antidote for that. Just, you know, sit back and just shit talk a little while.
Yes.
Maybe we can take our mind off it.
We interrupt this program for a very important message from Ace Fanning.
Listen, I know that technically right now I am on maternity leave, but I still have things that I want to say, I need to say. I have opinions that nobody's asking for, but I feel so badly that they need to be heard. And so if you fast forward through this part of the episode, that's fine. I don't blame you. But but I was like, I gotta get on. I gotta say some stuff, you know? And Anna, you're doing an incredible job holding down Reality Court while I am gone. I think that all the guests have been great. The episodes are perfection. I just feel like I have always gotten in trouble for yapping too much, and this is no different. Like, I'm gonna have an opinion, and again, nobody's asking for this, but I want to be heard. And number one, so I'm talking about Miami from last week. Actually, even the week before that, when we had to sit through Stephanie having her meeting with Anastasia Beverly Hills. Give me a fucking break. The fact that this woman has to come in here and act like her and Stephanie are on the same level when Stephanie has told us that she doodles in her notebooks during important business meetings. Give me a fucking break. That was gross to me. I'm not interested in that lifestyle. I think that's disgusting. I think that Stephanie needs to understand that she is not the person she thinks that she is in her business. And again, this is coming from an absolute fucking loser, you know? So take that with a grain of salt. Now, on to this week's episode of Miami, the cruise. I don't want that ever again. I don't ever need to see Housewives on a cruise again. You know, I felt like when we went to the spa, I'm like, there's athlete's foot all over this place. It felt like everywhere you went, you should probably set down a towel because you don't know what on somebody else's body was on that surface before you. I'm not a fan of cruises. I think that cruises to me are the equivalent of like a busted up mall on the ocean. And I know a lot of people love cruises and a lot of people are like, oh my God, no, you've never been on this It doesn't matter. They're all the same. It's all like a food court vibe situation. This cruise felt really gross to me. Was not interested in it one bit. And I don't want to see my women of luxury on a cruise. I want to see them on a yacht. I would love to see them on a yacht, you know, but to see them on a cruise ship and like go to this dinner where they're all dressed to the nines. And then behind them is a man in a Tommy Bahama blouse with like licking his fingers after eating his ribeye. You know, I'm just like, what is this? You know, like, what are we doing here? Like it felt gross. It felt beneath us. And I didn't understand the point of it. You know, we already had a cash trip. We'd already been on a boat. Why were we throwing one more in there? It just, I don't know. I didn't like it. If anyone is listening, don't ever put Housewives on a cruise again like this. It's not good. It didn't feel good. It felt gross. You know, I felt like I needed to take a shower afterwards. And listen, I know some of you guys really love cruises and you're like, oh my God, you don't even know how amazing they are. I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you've found cruises. But for me, listen, I watched the poop cruise. I watched the last cruise where they got stuck on that cruise during COVID. People get murdered on cruises all the time. You know, people get diarrhea on cruises all the time because I just feel like it's not good. You know, it's not for me. I'm not about that. So I just really need that to be known. Let's please not do that ever again. I also really want to put this out into the world. Can we please, Barbara Walters, is she dead? I think she is. I would love some sort of sit down with Stephanie's sisters. I want someone to figure out what's going on here, because the fact that she's sitting here telling Alexia, like, my sisters have no idea how much they've hurt me. Both of your sisters are in the wrong against you. I don't believe you. I think that you're a terrible human being, and I think that your sisters have every reason to hate you and not talk to you. Alexia not talking to her sister, I mean, that's not surprising. You know, I wasn't shocked by hearing that at all. Julia's so desperate to be liked by these women. It is driving me insane watching her rub Marysol's nasty ass feet, you know, just like get after those bunions. She is, I don't know who this woman is. I don't know why she's so desperate to be loved, but it's not good. I don't like it. Not one bit. Also, Anna, you might know this, but like, is Adriana on something? You know, she she feels very out of it. And I know she said, like, I'm missing my boyfriend. He's been gone for 6 weeks. I don't think that's it. Like, I feel like she was on that cruise kind of like, it's my birthday. She just kind of seemed a little bit out of it or something. I'm like, are we mixing pills and booze? I don't know. But I feel worried about her. Also, again, on a cruise, I'm worried about her near the balconies because she's going to fall off, and then no one's going to find her and no one's going to stop for her, or no one's going to like be like, oh no, person overboard, because they don't care. You fall overboard on a boat, you're done for. You're done. No one cares anymore. What I did appreciate was Kiki spread eagle in the hot tub. I know probably a lot of you are like, shut up about Kiki. I never will. Never stop talking about Kiki. Lisa is officially on time to dinner. You know what? I said that none of these women are funny, and that's why we need Kiki, but I will say Lisa is funny. Lisa can laugh at herself, unlike Larsa, who doesn't really move when she talks. Yeah, no, I think that Lisa's so fucking funny, and I think that she does a great job of making us laugh. And I appreciated her talking about how after all these years, she figured out how to be on time. And that was just to, manage her time, essentially. What else? Oh, Alexia, she fucked Todd 2 days ago. Lisa comes in with a funny, she's like, oh, booty call. And Alexia is just like, I don't know if it's that she's dumb or what, but she's instantly offended. Instantly, she was just like, that's not funny. No, it's not a booty call. That's my husband. And then she tries to act later on like she wasn't offended, but she is. And I'm just like, if you weren't so stupid, maybe you would have just laughed at that, because it was funny. It was just a funny moment. No one thinks that he's actually a booty call, even though he is, You know what? I'll also say this to whoever wrote the math equation on Adriana's cake. I thought that was funny. I know that she's dealing with a lot trying to deal with her age, but I thought that was a funny moment and I appreciated it. And then, final thought, Marysol's dinner. So here's what I don't understand. Does she have a problem with food? Because she sat there, she puts a plate in front of herself, but doesn't put a single thing on it. And I'm like, listen, if you don't want people to talk about the fact that you're not eating, it seems like you would have put food on your plate and just kind of like pushed it around. But she was like, no, I had some vegan cheese earlier. Okay. Like, why are you having people over for dinner and you're not going to eat? I would be so uncomfortable if I went to someone's house and they were like, oh yeah, here, I made you dinner, but I'm going to sit here with an empty plate in front of me and just stare at you while you eat. I didn't like that one bit. And I think that Frankie knows Marysol's annoying, and I appreciate him for that. And final thought, I do believe that Marysol's husband looks like Hannibal Lecter, with a little bit more life in him. But there is an uncanny, what's the word I'm looking for? Uncanny, I have no idea, And that's the beauty of how stupid I am. So anyways, thank you guys all so much for letting me pop in here and just give you some of my tidbits that no one gave a fuck to know about. We're home from the hospital. As you can tell, house is a mess. But my son is doing well. My wife is doing well. Everyone's good. Everyone's adjusting. It's been a good time. So I'll be back soon enough. I'm sure some of you are like, no, please never come back. But don't worry. I'll be here and you don't have to worry about it. I'll be here to bug the shit out of you. All right, guys. Have a beautiful episode.
All right. So this week has been interesting. I know you're doing Jeff Lewis soon yourself, aren't you?
I am, yes.
I know.
It'll be
he told me
my first time. Yeah, Vicki and I will be on a week from today.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
It's I love doing Jeff. It is so much fun. It's not anything you can prepare for. It's just you never know what you're going to talk about, and I kind of really like that about it. That makes some people nervous, but there's no talking points, nothing like that. They're just
okay.
like, so hey, what do you think, So just have opinions about everything.
Well, that part comes easy. It'll be interesting to see Vicki and I on live radio at first thing in the morning. You know, we'll see how it goes.
Exactly. So we're going to talk about some other stuff that happened, and then we're going to get a little bit into OC because, you know, you have so much insight on that. The day that I was on Jeff last week, Teresa and Gia were on right after me. So basically, I don't know if you're doing first hour or second hour.
I think we're doing early, the first one.
The first hour. So there is no time. You have to run out. The other person has to run in because it's got to all happen within a break. I had never met Gia in person. What a beautiful girl. What a smart girl. What a charming girl. I don't even know, you know, I can't think of enough adjectives to describe how great she is and what a great job Teresa has done with her girls. That's something that you cannot take away from her. Love her or hate her. She is an excellent mom. And
all four of them are just great girls.
All four of them.
All four.
And Juicy Joe is also a great dad. He is very connected to his girls.
And I mean, I think it all speaks in based on how much both of them love their parents still actively. Both, I mean, all four of them love both of their parents to death, you know?
And look, I know that this may not be a popular opinion, but I don't think Louie is a bad person. You know, I really think that Louie is misunderstood. I think Louie loves the girls too. Yeah. Teresa has been an amazing stepmother to his son. He has a son, I think, that's on the spectrum. Is that right?
Yes, he has two sons, I believe. Yeah. Yeah.
And so he's been a great stepfather and she's been a great stepmother. You know, they have other challenges, but that's not one of them. You know, they really seem to have a very perfectly blended family. And so
they seem so happy with each other. It's like, people just need to let them live, I feel, you know?
Live. Right.
And someone put it this way to me, to Louie, about Louie once, and I thought it was the perfect way to describe it. They just said that he cares like intensely. Like he's just someone that like
he's very intense.
So yes, and it may be on TV and stuff, it translates in maybe a confusing way, but at the end of the day, you have to look at those around him, and like it's pretty solid around him. Like, you know, all the people that know, they love him, you know,
they do.
The girls love him. Teresa loves him. His kids love Teresa. I mean, across the board, it seems like a smooth sailing, you know? Right. So it's like, why do people want to have an issue with it? You know, and I've only met Louie, I think once or twice, but I'm just ultimate sweetheart. Like, and talk about like loving his lady, being obsessed with his woman. He loves Teresa. Loves her to death. So
he really does. He really does.
I have no problems with Louie over here, honestly.
I don't either, guys. You know, I hope that our listeners don't think I'm the biggest flip-flopper, but the truth is that I learn just like you guys learn. You know, you see one version of a person and it's very easy to run to a conclusion. I may change my mind again. It's my prerogative based on what I see. But right now, I don't see a real problem with him. Reality TV is a really hard medium. To be on the other side of the camera, you know, where you're being filmed, you don't know how much to show, how little to show. You know, they tell you, show your whole life. The reason, and I say it over and over again, that I was not a great or particularly memorable housewife is because I was so guarded. I was a lot younger. It was many years ago. I was a practicing lawyer. I didn't want to embarrass myself in the eyes of the legal community, and I had younger, impressionable daughters for whom I was a role model. And so everything I said or did went through that filter. And you can't do that. But then when you show too much, then you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So,
yeah. I mean, it's really it's a game of luck in a weird way. But like,
is a game of
you
luck.
Talk about too, even those I think now who are guarded, unfortunately, I think it doesn't matter what you are willing or unwilling to share. That now, you know, the game and the system it's the story that's told for you. It's what
right.
And not even a story that's fake or made up, but you have people around you that maybe know things that you don't want out. So they leak, you know, say these little nuggets of information. And once a story is already being constructed in the minds of the producers, there's no pulling it back, you know?
It's a lot harder today, Christian, because when I was on, there was only Twitter. Yeah. That's all that was, you know, social media drives every storyline now. Look at
I
Miami.
mean, that's like,
Miami.
you can't do anything. Like, y'all could probably damn near almost film a whole season back in the day without people, you know, it getting out who's the cast and whatever. It's like now every single scene we watch on the show was like, oh, we've already saw that outfit when they posted and they filmed, and we saw people, the TikToks from the day that somebody saw them in this restaurant. And like, I love all that. You know, it's nice to have that boots on the ground feeling. But I mean, even from a production standpoint, when it comes to, you know, maintaining like the integrity of your project and trying to keep it, you know, under wraps and the story, it has to have added pressure to them, knowing that there's so many mediums out of their control, you know?
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I think it's a lot harder now than when I was on, for sure. I really do feel that way. So my hat's off to them. I wouldn't want to be them, despite what everybody thinks. I like being on this side. You know why for me, doing this podcast, another thing some people don't understand is the fact that I get to kind of be part of it. I think I have a lot of insight that I can share with listeners and viewers, and our listeners really do appreciate that, without being edited. Yeah. The only one that's editing me is me, and clearly I'm not editing myself, because today I would be different. Today I don't care. With age comes like an I don't give a fuck attitude that is very, very... you are still a little bit guarded in the things you say, because you like to be, first of all, you're from the South and you're very polite. And so you try not to overstep, but when you get older, that'll go away. It'll go away.
I'm nervous.
I know it does. But it's such a relief. That's the one thing I can tell you about getting older that is so liberating. It's so liberating. Yeah. It really is. I'm sure we have some people that listen to us that are, you know, women of a certain age, men of a certain age, who get mad at Ace for age shaming me. Which, by the way, I love Ace so much. There is nothing Ace could do that I would ever get mad at.
I would be concerned if you and Ace weren't shitting on each other. Like, that's your banter, you know. Like, and it's lovely to watch back and forth, because you can tell. I think like y'all. Both of y'all both love, I think, like a darker, like silly sense of humor, like a self-deprecating sense of humor. So it's like, if you have a friend that understands that sense of humor, and y'all can go, like, that's a beautiful thing.
It is
a
beautiful thing.
It's silly. Just back to what we said before, like, the world's fucked up. You got to find whatever silly form or method of humor that works for you, baby, and lean into it. You know?
I was talking about that the other day, that I laughed so much with Ace that it really, it gives me life. Yeah. This podcast and moving to Charlotte has given me just this. I'm just enjoying things so much, you know.
Aww,
you know, it's a good. I am at a good point in my life, even though I'm ancient. I'm enjoying my golden years. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Teresa, because she said something on Jeff that everybody's talking about, right?
Yes.
So. Apparently, there has been a chemistry test going around with the Real Housewives of New Jersey ladies. We don't really know who's involved, but we're assuming Margaret, Melissa, Dolores, and they asked her why she had not been part of the chemistry test. And she said, does the professor need a test? And I liked it.
I mean, she ain't wrong.
I liked it. She's not wrong. She's not wrong. But the part that really stuck out to me, you know, she just did that show Special Forces. And look, I think that Gia is very, very smart. And I think that Gia helps her see past the red, because Teresa is a bull in a China shop. English is my second language, so I have trouble with China shop. Like, she sees red, and it's hard to stop her. I think Gia really can see things from another perspective. And I feel that she was instrumental in helping her see that it's not good to hold on to all this anger. Yeah. And she actually cracked the door open, saying, I may be ready to reconcile all this. It pisses me off. I'm going to tell you why. Okay. I said this a long time ago. For whatever reason, whether you want the peace in your life or you want the $99,000 per episode that she makes, okay? I know this for a fact, that that's how she makes. The last season they did together, and Melissa makes $89,000 an episode. Do the math. That's $2 million a year. Where else is she going to do that? And it is the platform.
$2 million's a lot a year for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody want to walk away from $2 million a year.
It's hard to spend that kind of money. I mean, I could do it. We could do it for sure.
Oh yeah.
In one afternoon.
Yeah, if I had it, absolutely.
If I had it, yeah. If for me, I think I would just save. You know, invest, but whatever.
Paranoid. I'm never going to see this again. I can't ever let it go. Yeah.
So it pisses me off for that reason, because I'm worried that it's a little too late.
Okay.
You know, and that it may look disingenuous because it's only during this time that it's like, suddenly I want to reconcile. Either way, I'm always for a reconciliation. I personally do not like to be at odds with people. You know, I really don't. Everybody knows famously that I don't like Marysol at all. I can honestly tell you, I would never in my life reconcile with Marysol. Never. Hell would have to freeze over, because we've talked about the reasons. But I don't feel the same way about Alexia at all.
Oh, wow.
At all. I think that, I mean, I'm jumping franchises, but that's what we do. I think Marysol benefits from Alexia in a way that Alexia doesn't benefit from Marysol. And because I think Alexia is essentially a good person. And I don't think Alexia is 24/7 thinking about this show and trying to manipulate things. It is Marysol that's putting all that in her head. So as far as a reconciliation, I mean, it may never happen, but I can tell you that when Alexia and I see each other, we can't stop talking. It's almost as if no time has passed. Yeah. Maybe that ship has sailed, but honestly, that's how I feel about it. So I see the situation between Melissa and Teresa almost like me and Marysol. I don't see a path forward. Do you?
No, I don't.
So much.
And I think that this is something with, like, you know, and y'all know Teresa's my girl. I'll be out here. I will if Teresa has one soldier left on the field, baby, it is me. If she has zero, I am dead. Yeah. Okay. But we all know that Teresa sometimes she can't get like her exact emotions across in what she's trying to say and why she feels the way that she feels. Right. And I truly think, and this is having, you know, I got to spend some time with her a couple months ago when we did a few events together, and we talked a lot, and you know, she's the most honest and open and sweetest person you could meet. She will have the exact same treatment to someone that she's meeting in an airport security line as someone that she's known for 30 years. Like, she's so kind and open and trusting, I think. Like, she trusts immediately, and
she is.
I really think that her refusal to have anything to do with them and saying this for so long, you know, we have to remember the lives that these people live. Back to what you said, $99,000 an episode. This isn't you and I who've had beef and now we have to face each other at a mutual friend's birthday party this weekend. Right. This is work and money and stuff for them, but we have to remember there has to be a confusing element for them too, where they have to step back and be like, okay, fuck the show. There's family too. And, you know, we have to realize that just because she says and stands on her ground for so long and then changes it, it is a different situation than like what any of us are used to. And there's so many factors. And like, even if it were just you and I on a reality TV basis, there's still so many factors there as far as emotions and hurt and pain and real life feelings. And then also the business part of it all. Add in actual blood. Like this is the person she's known the longest in her entire life. And I personally think that there could have been a part of Teresa that was absolutely willing and open to reconciliation with the Gorgas outside of the show. But that wasn't really a discussion. Every time that she's talked about this, it was on the show. Mm-hmm. And I think that, look, insanity's the devil. You're trying the same thing how many times and expecting a different result. She's like, how many more times can we try in this arena? You know what I mean? Like, it's not, and also, let's be honest, it's not that everyone around them probably has their best interest at heart as far as, you know, the creatives in control of the show. So I know I'm rambling. I'm saying all that to say, I don't want people to necessarily think like, oh, Teresa's just switching up her story because she wants the gig. Right. People need to understand, I don't necessarily think that she never wanted to look at her brother or Melissa ever again.
Oh, no, I agree with you.
Yeah, I think that maybe in the sense that in the form that we're used to seeing them on the show, she was like, fuck no, I can't do this anymore. But, you know, now also with time, things change. And at the end of the day, I mean, it is her job. It's their job too. And
it is their job, right. It is their job.
Some people can say, okay, she's weak for pivoting. Some people can also say Melissa and Joe are weak for not ever standing on their ground on shit at all, you know? So
exactly.
I see both sides of it, but I also don't think that Teresa is fully aware of how I think that would come across. Like it would look like she was like, you know,
right,
if that's what it takes.
You know her better than I do. You know, I have spoken to her, and I'll joke around about Teresa sometimes, but the God's honest truth is that I think she's a really good person, you don't end up with children like that, okay? You have 4. If you are not a good person, if you're not a dedicated mother, if you're not selfless in many ways, and I do see that, and that is not very common in the housewives world. The housewives world, people like Kim Zolciak uses her daughter's money. I can't imagine calling my kids and asking them for money ever.
Oh, and I sure as shit can't imagine letting Bravo get a catch wind of it.
Exactly.
Ever.
Exactly.
Like the moment that they said that, I was in the first 10 minutes of Next Gen premiering. I was like, oh, the show's never going anywhere after that. Once I said, this is where we're going. Okay. But also it was like, as a longtime viewer of Housewives, it was like, damn, Kim is down bad, because Kim would have never let that shit be filmed back in the day.
Well, Kim is desperate now. You know, you saw that, you know, all the clickbait she posts. She posted something about Emily and Shane getting divorced just for clicks, okay? She is hard up for money, but whatever. I have no respect for people like that, and if I met her tomorrow, I'm not the kind of person that if she's in front of me, will go, oh, you're so great. No, you're an asshole. You have taken advantage of your own children, and I want nothing to do with you.
Get it to fucking together.
Yeah, but I don't feel that way about Teresa, and I do think that if you've watched other seasons, it has to be very hard for her not to have her brother in her life anymore. Her parents wanted them to stay close. It was like their dying wish.
Yes.
And they both adore those parents. I mean, we all love our parents, but there's a thing with them.
Oh, it's extra connected. So
I hope they find a way. I think this is not about Teresa all of a sudden changing her mind and say, oh, now it's convenient, the money. I just wish that she would have done it sooner and that she would have seen it, but she's very stubborn. She's very, very stubborn. And I just don't know. There is so much. Look, I can relate. I have one brother. My brother, one of his ex-wives, my brother's been married 3 times, okay?
Yeah.
One of his ex-wives, I disliked her so much, I refused to go to the wedding. I ended up going.
Oh, shit.
I ended up going because my kids were walking the wedding, and again, it's my brother, and so that pulls me. But I can be very judgmental of the people my brother has been with. So I get her.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
interesting.
I do. I can see it. I've been like a crazy, like helicopter sister with my brother his whole life.
And I've always said too, I swear to God, I don't think Teresa has a single problem with Melissa. I think all Teresa's problems with Melissa are what her parents maybe had issues with. And she has.
Yes.
I've seen it. Look, I'm in my small town Southern family. Like, people, your parents are they're your everything. Like they lead the charge, and like like my mom and I could be ready to have a knockdown drag out, but if somebody looked at her the wrong way in the middle of that knockdown drag out, unfortunately now I have to ruin your life forever and ever and ever. And then the moment that you think it's better, I'm going to come back again. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I really think that a lot of Teresa's negative emotions that are tied around Melissa are the frustrations maybe she saw her parents having with her that maybe Joe didn't see, you know. And it's not to say that they haven't had that with her in her first marriage. Like, it's parents with their kids. Like, there's a lot of he said, she said, back and forth. Like, it's a family. Like, that's what happens, you know. But I do honestly kind of think that.
Yeah, I do too. And honestly, look, I'm not saying that the show can't go on without her, but I think it'll be a better show with her. I think as the audience, we would love to see that reconciliation, because who hasn't had conflict in their immediate family and extended family, but especially in their immediate family. I wish that could happen. I am one of these people that I kind of like everyone on the show, strangely.
Yeah.
I love Margaret, love Jen Fessler, love Dolores, and I believe they can coexist. I love Joe Gorga. I mean, he makes me laugh like nobody else. I mean, I just find him so funny.
I feel like also it's like they could, it's just, if there's a way to compartmentalize it and say, we're not doing family stuff. Like no one at home really wants to, we can agree to disagree. Right. Like I think at home we would take the agree to disagree and be like, okay, we're done. Right. Like any we can see y'all disagree, but not about this because it's so deep and like muddied and like and on both sides and like it's years and years and years of pain and things that probably the other party doesn't even fucking remember, you know, and it's like it's going to be damn near impossible and tediously to navigate that. Like you either have to just drop it and move on and say let's do our best
and not try to relitigate it on the show.
Yes,
because we're tired.
Please no. Yes, like I mean, and like y'all can have beef, but have beef about the fact that when you walked in, Teresa said, like someone said that they thought you copied their outfit. Not talk about the fact that you know what you did, like you said this all those years ago, and now you're doing it again. It's like no, we have to pivot.
Yeah,
you know,
we do have
somehow.
To pivot. We do have to pivot. I
mean, you're right with the cast being great too. If they could do that pivot and add in some new blood.
Oh yeah.
They'd be off to the fucking races, baby.
Yeah. Danielle Cabral said at some event, some awards or something, gave the impression that she was coming back. I don't know. There's people that don't like her. Again, the only one I don't really know at all is Melissa. And so I get on the fence about her because because I relate more with Teresa because I've hated some women that have been with my brother. So I can just, I know that it's not reasonable. But Danielle is the most Jersey person I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
She is so Jersey. And the bougie kids and the whole thing. It's like she's right out of Central
and
casting.
Shamelessly about wanting to be like on camera and a housewife too. Like we have to have that little bit of just zero concern. You know what I'm saying?
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I do hope it comes back soon because, I love that show.
My God. Well, and then Bravo just said that no official announcements have been made. It's like, fucking make one. For the love, like, do you want fucking tea or Coke? You want a hot dog or a hamburger? We all have decisions in this life to make, and unfortunately, they all have fucking deadlines.
Right.
Either order your meal now, or the server is going to be gone with the other tables for the next 45 minutes. It's now or 45 minutes later. And I feel in the Bravo world, the server we've missed the server about 4 times when it comes to New Jersey. I'm like, let's get it together.
Listen, my Ken is notoriously takes so long to place an order that it makes me crazy. Oh. Yesterday we were going to brunch. I said, from now on, I'm reading you the menu in the car. And still, I think he eats with his eyes, and so he's like, I want this, I want this. I said, pick 2 things that you want. And you'll order one, I'll order the other one so you can have the rest of mine because I never eat that
so
much
nice.
in one sitting. It's like crazy. So yeah, shit or get off the pot is what we're saying to Bravo about.
Do you not think that why Bravo hasn't been this hesitant and refusal having this much refusal to make a fucking move?
Yeah.
On anything. Like they take pride in their decisions. Like they stand 10 toes down. Look at the RHONY reboot. The entire world's like, we don't get it, we don't get it, we don't get it. And they're like, sorry, don't care. If there's one more show, if there's only one show left on Bravo, baby, it'll be the RHONY reboot. Because they refuse to pivot on it. And I'm like, where is that? Where's that stance now?
It's bad business. Okay. I had at one time one of my entrepreneurial pursuits with this thing called Zippies, which was to help women zip themselves up. Because I went to sleep when I was completely alone, I went to sleep in many a jumpsuit that I couldn't get myself out of. I've been zipped up by many valets, okay? And it was a great product, but I realized that people don't anticipate that problem. They're not going to say, let me buy this for the day that I'm alone that I may need to zip myself. So I sold it to a scene on TV, It's like you need to realize when it's time to just move on because it's too much energy on that. And then I focused more on other things. And so I think they should have recognized it. I think they're recognizing it now, that the formula that works for a reboot is the Miami formula.
Nostalgia and new. Yes.
Yes.
But there has to be, and I've said this until I'm blue in the face. And I hate to say I'm right, but I'm fucking right. I know I am. There has to be nostalgia in every single one of these shows in order to exist.
We don't want brand new people.
The one Housewives franchise that people have the most problems with is what? The RHONJ reboot.
The RHONJ, yeah.
It's the only one that does not have a single splash of a throwback vibe, a face that has been familiar through all the years.
Yeah.
Yes. We have to have that through line of a family and a personality and a situation and a storyline that we are invested in. We have to have it. Otherwise, it can be season 18, it can be season 19. Everything can't feel brand shiny and new.
Right.
Something has to feel familiar,
Yeah, now they're saying that they're going to keep Aaron, Jessel, and Jenna and bring in new people. Look, why don't we bring some people back? Okay.
Because Bravo will not accept. They're too prideful on this one. I'm telling you, when it comes to the RHONJ, I don't know what it is.
But it has been proven this season in particular that Miami is killing it like never before. They hit their stride. The producers, I don't have to tell you, they're not my friends, but they're doing really well.
They're doing what they need to do.
They figured it out. Why not take a page from Miami? Bring back, even if it's two, even if it's just two.
I think even just one. Just give us something, and then see how that goes. Take a page out of your own book. This is real life. Right. We do it as it comes. Commit to one, and watch the story.
Right.
Make that really good, smart decision. Who really blends with these ladies? Like, I'm sorry, when they brought Carol back on Watch What Happens Live, I was like, oh my God, it's happening.
Oh my God, I thought so too.
I had chills when she came out. Like, I think Carol with this group of women, even as a friend, chef's
bring
kiss,
anybody back except Bethany. Please don't bring Bethany.
Quite, for the love of God.
For the love of God. I can't.
Can you imagine how holier than thou she would feel coming into this new group of women? She would.
Listen, the one thing we know for sure is that Bethany, no one wants Bethany on TV because Bethany does not rate. Has been on many other shows and they have all failed. And
her own shows too.
Her own shows have failed because she is. Oh my God, that woman is so unbelievably full of shit. I don't even understand.
There's a reason she's good on TikTok. You can only take her in like 30 seconds.
That's what it is. You're right.
Yes.
You're right. And I
her talk show was like, oh my God.
I don't follow her, but it comes up because I will stop and watch sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's a lot. It's a lot. So let's jump to the OC, your specialty. Yeah. What are you thinking about this rumor that Shannon may be demoted? This upsets me terribly. I just want you to know. I am a Shannon fan from day one, and I'll always be a Shannon fan. I don't know. I know,
Look, I'll always have my 9 lemons in a bowl, okay? I'll always, but even prior to, Vicki and I getting close and working together, like I was, a Shannon defender through and through. Yeah. I will say, though, it's interesting. I always, even when I talk to Vicki, I'm like, you know what? As a viewer is what I say, because I have perspectives now, I think.
Of course.
Watching and talking and seeing things. But I said also, like, if I try and sometimes think about what my opinion would be if, like, I'd never spoken to Vicki or just because, I try and put myself back on the couch in college when I was watching alone and none of my friends watched, and just really, what do you think is going to happen?
Right.
And all of that removed, watching this season, Shannon feels incredibly displaced from the group to me. She feels... and I don't want to
I know.
She feels not invested. She feels not invested, and I feel
the woman's been beat up.
You're not showing up on time to. Life's beat a lot of people up.
I know, but when you're that age, It's hard to
I know.
come back. I don't know. Look,
but life's going to beat her up even harder if she loses this job because she keeps showing up late and she's showing up disheveled and she's showing up and then not and then saying like, and I'm never one to talk about like appearance or anything, but like even people are saying, why is Shannon showing up and her hair's not done? Like Tamara made a comment about it, like, and I said, if you're holding up production and then not even showing up in your best self ready to work, that's
like
a problem,
Lisa
especially when you know how much she's making.
Yeah. Lisa takes her time, but she shows up perfect, you know?
Well, at least Lisa, it's like, well, goddamn, that was worth it, I guess. You know, like kind of like Dorit. Exactly. Remember in Rome, whenever they all were waiting and they were like, I don't know if it's worth it. Like, yeah. But I'm saying all that to say, Shannon came off, and this probably didn't work out for her in the sense that it was really good that she went into the season where she, with the DUI and all that stuff, probably terrified of the audience reception, and we had her back. And because we really believed in her and we believed what she was saying that she wanted to change, and I still believe that. I think, unfortunately for her, in the words of Brandy Glanville, in Beverly Hills, the higher you are, the harder you fall. Like, the higher you are, the easier it is to drop. Like, look at Jen Pedranti this season. I love Jen, but it's like, she was a fan favorite going into the season, and now people are like, what the fuck are you doing? You know?
I mean, and honestly,
I think
she's putting too much information on social media. She needs to be like, a little bit, It's a very rookie mistake, I think.
Well, enjoy your off time and wait to the reunion. Get your peace. Enjoy your peace of mind. Like, you need it. Like, honestly, and I'm not talking, like, do yourself the favor. Like, you need to just fuck this shit for a while. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that off time is always like, if I ever talk to a housewife, I'm like, between seasons and before the reunion, I'm like, you have to, I'm like, go on a vacation, like, erase yourself from this shit. You have to, you know?
I think the reason
but Shannon,
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. I think the only reason Shannon, if she's back, I think that it will be the novelty and nostalgia of season 20 that keeps her there.
Because season 20 is coming, right?
Yes. And I think it would feel wrong to not have her there, part of what I hope will be a monumental historic season, a season full of looking back and references and coming together and moving forward. I think that she is needed for that, if that is the path forward that they choose. Right. But that might not be the path forward that they choose. And we got to look at money these days. Shannon's a high paycheck.
She has a high paycheck. They're not really saying about getting rid of her. They're talking about demoting her to a friend. Yeah. I think obviously that I see that happening. I don't want it to happen because, again, my perspective is different than yours. You know, yes, she should get herself together, but we don't all start out with the same mental health situation, right? Some of us are stronger than others. Some of us can handle challenges better, but hers were one after the other. Okay. Yeah. This man, she's trying to be in a relationship with him. He picks her up and dumps her, picks her up and dumps her. Oh, then she had the DUI situation. And then they bring Alexis on the show.
And this is all after David too.
Yeah, and after David, I'm sorry. Yeah. Why? I don't know. I'm a pretty strong person. I think it would take me a minute. And so I would like to see people giving people grace and give her that minute and maybe, okay, now it's time to move it. But the timeline is different for everybody. And I think there's a lot of us that watch the show and can put ourselves in her position and say, like, give her a break. I'd like to see her come back, like rise like the Phoenix, like I want that. But
I want it too. Like I want Shannon to. Shannon's one of those ladies. I say I just want her to win. I really do. Too. And obviously, and we're talking about I said like showing up late and stuff. To me, it's like whatever. I just think that when production has to make tough decisions, every little negative is like it's like a check and minus, or it's like a pros and cons list. Like she did this for us this year. She was a problem with this year. Like, and I just think that. I don't know. I wish that maybe and also I have to admit, we're seeing what the version that was decided to put out. Like there's a lot of stuff that simply can't make it. It's not that they're telling a story or making it fake. It's just like maybe Shannon said, "Why did you say that to her?" But they didn't have time to add that in, Right. So it could be that maybe they've edited Shannon down to not be
right.
Listen,
look,
but we'll see.
It's a business. Like you said, this is a business, and not every. Maybe I'm not like the most, like I'm not the kind of viewer that most people are. Maybe they're like, okay, lady, fine, move on. Maybe people don't have my perspective, and I get it. Maybe the majority don't. I would like to see her get a chance just because last season was so tough for her. Yeah. And the idea of bringing Alexis back really pisses me off so much. How do you bring Alexis back and not bring Vicki back? Look, if we're talking about you want a stellar season, then bring out the people that made an impression.
I think it's very easy to determine who those people are. It's very, very easy to determine who those people are. I can
tell you who those people are. Bring back Vicki, bring back Kelly. But Alexis, fine. If you're going to bring her back, then bring all those people back. I think
keeping Shannon full-time. I don't think Shannon should be demoted. I don't think Shannon should be fired. I don't. I guess the paranoid fan in me always looks to what are the possibilities, because we have learned that nothing is off limits, when it comes to casting. But I think if we're going to do season 20 right, let's all just stop with the bullshit. We know that I think keep current cast, maybe drop Emily, honestly. And then I think I want Vicki as a friend. I think her being
Emily
full-time.
Or get rid of Gina.
I honestly feel like Gina might thrive a little bit without Emily.
Well, this is my point about Miami. How likable would Alexia be without Marysol? Without Marysol in her ear. We don't need Marysol. Marysol, look, I understand that she's done a lot for the show. And I really do think that she's responsible for bringing the show back, because she's the one person that never gave up. But okay, thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
Alexia has much more, Alexia is Miami.
Yeah.
Marysol's
and the life story that people have been invested in all those years, a lot of it was hers, Yeah.
And her story.
And that's how I feel about Vicki. I felt like Vicki's personal life was the one people watched all these years more so than a lot of the others, and I think that's what people miss. I keep telling her that too, and she's always like, why do we have to post on social media so much? I'm like, people just want an update from you. People just want to see what's up, And, but yeah, I think season 20, it would just be a huge misstep to not have Vicki, Tamara, and Shannon all on the same platform. I think if they do bring Alexis back, I say make her and Vicki both the friends, and let's just whoop this shit up, and let's really fucking be a season about moving forward. Because at the end of the
Alexis, I'm boycotting if Alexis goes back.
Yeah, I don't know who else. I don't want any new people. Don't add anybody new.
My listeners are going to kill me, but look. We watch these shows for entertainment purposes, right? The stuff that comes out of Kelly's mouth, yes, we don't all agree with it, but she has a right to say what she wants to say, and it's she makes trouble. But isn't that
she really
fun?
does.
I don't know.
She makes trouble even with her friends. It's like, girl,
I know. I am shocked sometimes what I think she says, but I do honestly find her entertaining. I just do.
Her one-liners are fucking hilarious, I will say.
Make her the villain, Make her the villain. The thing is that she's comfortable with that. She's comfortable with it. But Alexis, I draw the line at Alexis. You know what it is? It's not Alexis. I don't want the fucking John Jensen on anymore.
That's me.
I can't stand him.
And unfortunately, and with her and Shannon, the mutual is him, and so it's like there's not really much to navigate, I think, and explore in that relationship or friendship, both individually and amongst a group, without that being a huge thing.
He's a douchebag. He is a douchebag. He is Slate level douchebag. Okay.
Oh my God.
What is Vicki's position in all this? What does she say? I know Vicki would never want to come back as a friend. She's been very clear about that, and I understand
know, and
that.
I can't get her to listen to me. But I tell her, I say, look, this is coming from the person who almost had to leave work the day that the news broke that you were demoted to a friend.
Vicki needs to be back for season 20 in some regard, and I think you were saying that you were trying to give Vicki the advice that even if they bring her back as a friend, she should come back. I'm going to agree with you on that, because when she's there, no one's going to care whether she's a friend or she's whatever. The OG from the OC is back for the 20th season, a show that I don't know if she single-handedly created, like she says, but she certainly was but without her, it probably wouldn't have happened. So in a way, she facilitated the whole thing from happening, or she created it and Andy facilitated it. Either way, it's no good without her. You know?
Yeah. And she is like the nostalgia that I referenced before, that, you know, as these years have gone on and we've seen, you know, many have come and gone, you know, Housewives and shows have come and gone. It's just become apparent to me. Oh,
sorry.
You're good. It's just become apparent to me that is the one commonly shared value amongst all of us viewers, and we don't fucking agree on anything, is that we like that history. We like being reminded, like, yeah, we're invested in this, and you're aware of that, and you're here with us. And I tell Vicki too, I'm like, you don't understand. I'm like, when you got let go in season 14, I said I would have done anything if you wouldn't have taken the friend role and just walked. Yeah. That's me, from the person who is your biggest driver. I just want you to have a win.
So the reason she didn't come back, she didn't come back because they downgraded her?
No, so they did. She took the friend role in season 14. Okay. I am saying, looking back, I always said I wish she hadn't even taken it. That was my advice to her. However, and I tell her that because I'm like, I'm telling you now, I have changed. I would seek out a friendship role.
Me too.
If they even came to me I said, because think about it. I said, the friendship role has evolved with Kathy Hilton's and the Cynthia Baileys of the world. I said, you are now, you have a sense to be a chance. I said, like the godmother of the group. I said, you come in with the wisdom and the funniness and the comedy. I said, and then you fucking bounce out. Like you have paid your dues. Your personal life is not up for discussion when it comes to negativity. It simply is not. I said, you have a man that you love. He loves you. I said, the least amount of time those cameras can be around all elements of your life,
so that they can't fuck it up,
the better.
Yeah. So that they can't screw it up. I think the friend role is a gift. It's a gift. I think,
and she didn't like it the first time because she felt left out. Like she said, she didn't know what was going on. And I said, it was new. It was new, you know? And I said, and also there was the emotions of the demotion involved with that. Like, and quite frankly, I think that maybe they didn't necessarily even know what they knew. They wanted you around that season, but they didn't know how. Like there will be a very solid plan for Victoria if she returned as a friend. And I think that she would be, I said, look at Gretchen. I'm like, she's a friend. I said, and she's just as involved as anyone.
Well, that's happening everywhere. In Miami,
it is. But
I believe Miami has 12 housewives, not
they
9 and 3. There are 12 housewives.
I mean, we've got to do something when it comes to the title cards and the cast photos. Like we've got to find a way to put the friends in the back, you know, or something like overlook it. I don't know.
I think they should do an intro card of the friends together, because they should at least have an intro card. Even if you don't want to do a separate one to distinguish from the main cast, put them together. You know, in one card.
Yeah, because I mean, it really is blending now, like to where you can't really, you can hardly tell
the difference.
Like who. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't tell the difference. I agree. I agree with that, and I just think that the show would be better that way, or at least just give it a chance. Let's see what happens.
Just give it a chance. I said, let's have some fun. Let's get these girls to Mexico, get them drunk and dancing on a taxi, and get the show back to what it started out being. Like, let's have women having fun and moving the fuck on through issues. Like, yes, Tamara and Vicki are one of the few friends in the franchise that like have been through hell and back 85,000 times and get through it. But like, that is what life is about. We might not argue with our friends on this level. You might not argue with your family on this level, but the show is about finding things that happen and relating to them and seeing how these people choose to navigate it, because that's what they have to do. And I mean, I even told Vicki, I said, honestly, what a beautiful lesson it kind of would be, and poetic, if you did come back for season 20. I said, put all this shit behind you. I said, it's a lesson that we all need right now. Yeah. Fuck it. Life's too short. And we can't give people the power of of upsetting us, you know? And you tell them how you feel and move on.
Look what's happening in the world for being so staunch in our beliefs and in our beliefs, and not really even considering the other side. People get really, to the point where people are being murdered because
it's just, and there's just no, and look at you, when's the last time you laughed watching OC?
No, OC is heavy.
And it like that used to be, it was like the New York of the funny girls for me. Like OC was like, you know, Shannon, Vicki. I mean, it was hilarious. Like, I mean, I still, if you look through all the memes and stuff I have saved on my phone, and OC is a huge contender.
Yeah.
There's just so many silly moments. And I look back at this season, I'm like, I haven't belly laughed one fucking time. Really.
I will
and
say
I don't like that.
That Tamra, again, lover or hater, she knows how to make this show.
Executive producer Tamra Judge, as I call her.
Align herself with, okay? Yeah. And she's talking a lot about bring Vicki back lately. You know, I gotta say, you know, I hardly ever agree with Tamra. I started out liking Tamra, and then, you know, she did what she does to everybody, right? Like, she was nice, and then until she wasn't anymore, for nothing that I did, just it wasn't convenient at the time.
Came out of nowhere.
Right. Yeah. But I wouldn't mind seeing that. You know, they have so much history too. How is Vic, like, you know, how does Vicki feel about Tamra? I mean, don't tell me anything she hasn't discussed on your podcast, obviously, but like, what does she say?
No, she's very honest about it. It's that it's someone she loves and has always loved, and that there's hurt on both sides, and you do and say things, I think, when you're hurt. But also she says it's hard to want to move forward because out of fear, you know, and she's like, and it's not scary. That she always says too, she's like, I'm not mad at her for anything she did to me. She said, my problem came because I saw what she did to others, and I was like, I can't do it. Right. But she said at the same time, though, it's someone that she absolutely loves and adores and does miss. So we talked about it recently, and I said, you kind of sound like you're proceeding with caution. She said, absolutely. I said, I think that's fair, and I think that maybe they even on both sides too. You know, like, I mean, there's so many, kind of what we said with Teresa and Joe and Melissa. There's so many little things and instances and hurt feelings from over the years that you can't go back on it at this point. Like, it's so far in, you either have to come together to be like, okay, we're starting fresh, or wish you the best. Can you imagine if Housewives ends up being the kind of show that teaches the world about resolution and seeing every other person's point of view? I mean, it's like, you know what? I was talking about it whenever all this, you know, this hype started coming about bringing Vicki back. And I said, they really do have an opportunity here to do something good. Right. I think, you know, and really just kind of just bring the franchise back to its roots, man. Like, just bring us all back. And it's the first time any Housewives have reached 20th season. That's an amazing, any TV show. Like, that's a fucking milestone and a half. And it just needs to be celebrated in the right way. I hope that they do. Will Vicki be at BravoCon? She will. Oh, good. Okay. She will. I will be there with her. We got our booth going. We're getting our merch ready, and you have a booth we'll be there for your podcast. Well, they were like, is it a Vicki booth or is it a podcast booth? I was like, it's a Vicki booth. People are coming to see Vicki. I was like, but we'll have podcast stuff on there. Oh, you know? I got it. Okay. Yeah, but like, we're doing fun Vicki merch, podcast merch. It's all kind of under the same umbrella. But awesome. Yeah, awesome. I will be there with her, and we'll be booked and busy, and I can't wait. I can't wait to just be. I like, you know, when I'm with her and seeing other people celebrate her, and I can't wait to see other Housewives, because I know, like, within the Housewives, and Vicki doesn't get that. Like, I try so hard to help her see. I'm like, you don't understand. Like I said, you're a fucking legend. Well, Vicki proceeds with caution, and I do like that she doesn't go around thinking she's a legend. You know? Yeah. I do like that about her. Yeah, it's true. And I think it's events like this that hopefully help her see to see that she should come back and do her thing. Well, let me tell you, I have, as usual, enjoyed this time with you. I really appreciate it. I know that you're so busy. Tell everybody where we can find you. He does post a lot also on social media. Christian does keep us abreast of a lot of things. You're really good at that. I need to be better with that. Thank you. Yeah. I try. Yeah, I speak through Housewives memes. That's my language. Yeah. So that's what I post over on my Instagram, Christian Gray Snow. Vicki and I release new episodes of our podcast, My Friend, My Soulmate, My Pod, every Tuesday. Every Tuesday? And, and then you're doing other short episodes on your own, right? Yes, so we're going to start implementing more of those too,
Yeah.
and I've been doing a little bit on my own.
Yeah.
And then I also Hurrdat. I host YouTube lives for Hurrdat 3 times a week: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. We talk about all the Housewives news that's happening, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. So come hang out with me.
Talk to them about putting together a retreat for us and all the things that iHeart has that we don't have.
Listen, I'm like, where are we? We take me to Myrtle Beach at this point. I don't care.
Anywhere, Omaha. I'm like happy in Omaha.
Hey, Omaha's fun.
Right? I know. I got to go. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you, Christian and Pat. And I am another shout out to Baby Riggs, who is so cute.
Yes.
And Ace, we miss you. And of course, thank you, Beyonce. And we will see you guys on Friday. Thank you.